everyone to podcast Toon Talk 2.0. You know what? I was gonna make a good introduction, but he just said that where I am is a little nipple.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
no, it's nipply.
problematic.
No, but that's why it's nipply because it's so cold that your nipples get hard even when you're wearing a
I know,
jacket.
but that's like so improper to say to such a respectful member of society like me.
Look, it's a double entendre. You're gonna make it sound
Really?
sophisticated. Well, because you could say it's a little nippy, or you could say it's a little nipply,
Oh, ooh,
and
there you go.
you can always pass it off as like you're flanderizing it. It's like what? It's like okily dokily.
It's a, it's a innuendo. Are you
I-
trying to tell something about me? Are you trying to propose something for this Christmas? You want to
Innuendo.
have? Should we change the podcast from YouTube and Spotify to OF? Ew,
I
that
mean,
would be
20,
so
20,
freaking.
$20 is $20.
If you're lucky. But yeah, $20 or $20. Last time I found $20 in my underwear was complicated. Welcome everyone to Toon Talk 2.0. I'm one of your hosts, half of the podcast. My name is Virus Box, and in the other side we have,
This guy who's wearing a Santa hat and has two thumbs.
yeah, who looks like a fucking F at git. I
Oh,
was gonna say the whole word, but then my
it
warning brain really like stop, stop, stop.
it took me a second.
So I got a new bandana, and it's so comfortable, man. Because it's this bandana that are already pre-done, so I don't have to be doing the thing, and it's so comfortable. And
It's
I
very
just
very
my
very convenient when you have to slick your hair back in a hurry to do
well,
things.
the thing is, people don't understand how long my hair is.
Yeah, but I mean, when you got to get it out of the way real fast to do activities, it's
Yeah, you
handy to
go.
not have to tie it.
There you go. I don't use it like that because I feel like a metrosexual guy from the FIFA in Europe. When they put it in the tub. But I will just do the rockstar thing. How are you, Jake?
Tired but good. It's been an oddly good December for me, which says a lot because this year was mostly a shit show, but good things happen. We discussed that previously
Yeah.
in our year in review.
Previously, we can look at that. Previously on Toon Talk. Sorry, I always want to do a previously. Oh, by the way, you know what I've been watching?
What?
So I download. I remember I mentioned around episode 6 that I was gonna be a conscious consumer. I was gonna have Netflix 1 month, put it down. Hulu, I couldn't. But the Black Fridays, I pay everything the year in advance because there were really good deals. To be honest, I'm
Is
paying
wait, is that
$2.
is that an option?
Yeah, the yearly thing. I'm paying for Hulu. I pay like $20, and for Peacock $20 a year. So I couldn't say no.
Oh, I've got to look at that cuz I that's something a lot of people don't do it and it's kind of a shame because virtually everything like even my insurance like when I had car insurance that I paid for it well it wasn't a year but 6 months in advance, just pay the whole thing. You can get hella discounts, like sometimes you get as much as like 30%
My
by
car
paying
is
it up front.
expensive as we discussed it before, but I pay the whole year, and actually I'm paying 10 months instead of 12 because I'm paying the whole year.
Right.
So instead of paying 6,000, I'm paying 5,000 a year.
Yeah,
So
exactly, but you're saving a grand.
yeah, I mean, we need to pay the drug dealers.
Yeah,
Inglewood is complicated nowadays.
well that's
Yeah,
your
yeah,
that's your
I
that's your
can
hostage
pass a
money.
doping people. Yeah, yeah, that's my. I can take a doping people. Everybody knows that I've been clean for so many years. I'm just kidding. Um, so
They're just jokes, people. They only bite if you let them.
yeah, and if you don't like it, just move along. Like Matt Rolfe, that's the name of the comedian,
Oh, Matt Rife.
right? Right. If you don't like, he say, if you don't like what I do, just go to see another comedian.
Yeah, that's always that still perplexes me. It's never been easier to turn off the TV or scroll or whatever, and yet, like today, I posted a short that I made from a podcast we did like Oh, it was over a year ago. I don't think it was quite 2 years ago, but it was a year ago, give or take. And is talking about Colin Kaepernick, like something that people are not even talking about. I almost didn't upload it because I'm like, this isn't even relevant. Dude, 2,000 views in an hour and everybody's losing their shit. But the like to dislike ratio is way on the like side. It's like it started out at 90%. I think now it's down to 89, but it's
Well,
all
the Kaepernick thing is such a bad media management that hurts. Because LeBron James last week, he was tired and he didn't stand up from the in the commercial. I mean, in the anthem, national anthem, and yeah, it was a little backlash. But guess what? Meanwhile, your Nike poster boy, he'll be fine. Kaepernick was with Adidas, and that matters. Um, I know that this is not a sport podcast, but everybody knows how I feel about sports and everything, and they were saying why always the competition is who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan. It's everywhere online, but they never throw Kobe, and they
it's
never throw Steve Curry. Steve Curry has more championship. He defeat 3 times already LeBron James. You know why? It's because LeBron is with Nike. And the other guy, what is his name? Steve Curry, he's partner of the shoes that he's wearing. That they're not good sellers in America, but they're huge sellers in Asia. I don't remember Under Armour. He's with Under Armour basketball shoes. So I hate when people are so obtuse and obtuse. That's the word. To say, oh well, it's between this or that. Dude, it's about the brand. If Corey were a Nike boy, he will be the best player ever. He's the best point guard ever in the history of the game. But you know who's better than everyone else? Steve Kerr. That motherfucker, whatever he plays or coaches make rings. He's the
yeah.
ring maker.
Well, there's a similar thing that happens in the pseudo sport of pro wrestling because there's this perception that in order to be successful, you have to be like the champion or whatever. And most of the time, John Cena and the people like him are obvious exceptions because he was on top for over a decade. But usually, your like main
But then
event.
his wife got mad because they never changed position. Sorry,
Oh god, but
I know.
but you
I'm getting into
usually
rhythm, people. I'm getting
yeah.
into rhythm. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, but usually like those runs as being like the champion are usually less than a year or maybe a year or two when somebody is considered at like the main event status. But then you've got guys which if you're not a wrestling fan, you've never heard of this guy, the Brooklyn Brawler. 20
What?
but employed by the WWE for 25 years. If they needed somebody to help train, to help, get somebody a little who was a little rough around the edges to work dark matches, he was at just a ton of the events. And back in those days, they almost got exclusively paid by being at the events. So this dude, he wasn't a billionaire by any stretch of the imagination, but he had steady work and something that he loved doing for 25 years.
Yeah.
You know,
It sounds like you and me.
yeah, exactly.
We're not billionaires, but we do everything because we love it. Yeah, I know. I need to introduce somebody, a new member of the family. Oh shit! You can see it. There you go. His name is Handy. You got it. We get acquaintance last night.
Handy the elf.
First on the touch, and then in the anyway. I gotta move on. Uh so yeah, you're right. It's a matter of the branding. I mean, John Cena is good. Don't take me wrong, but John Cena team and management is amazing.
Well, and
I mean,
the WWE machine was behind him. But the point I'm making about the Brooklyn Brawler is you take just about anyone who was on that main event level in WWE, they all know the Brooklyn Brawler and they all say incredible things about him, including The Rock, Stone Cold, Cena, all those guys worked with, knew, and as far as I'm aware, had nothing but great things to say about the Brooklyn Brawler.
I mean, even the name is pretty cool, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, his gimmick was he almost never won. But who cares?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, who cares? He was famous. But let's get into topics. I got the first topic of the day. I know you're not prepared. I know it's Christmas, but I'm gonna start debating a fact that they're convincing me, and I want you to be the devil's advocate on this. Okay?
I'm wearing the wrong hat, but go on.
You want this?
No, no,
Or
I need the horns are under the.
okay, there you go. Is the Earth flat?
No.
I'm not kidding. Why? Just tell me why.
Okay. Oh God, there's so many things. For one thing, we have
No,
the
hold a
electromagnet.
second. Hold a second. Stop right there. I knew you were gonna say that. How many times you, Jake, make a scientific research? You didn't read about it. You didn't practice about it. You actually did a magnetic research, knowing what. I'm not talking about theory, but practical. Have you ever fly to the space and see the Earth round?
No, but I have access to satellite before.
Okay, I hate you. Okay, talk to me. Talk
Well,
to
okay,
me.
okay. So if you've ever used a compass, you've just proven that the Earth is not flat because you have electromagnetic field at the poles. The fact that we don't instantly die from heat from the sun proves that the Earth is. It's not a perfect sphere, mind you, but it is a sphere. The fact that no one's ever fallen off the side of it, and we have actually flown and sailed around the entire globe. When you go up into a
Have we?
plane, yeah, we have.
Have you?
Not me
Have you?
personally, but people have.
That's my point. Everything that we seen, and I'm going to a point, people. I know it's not flat. I'm going to a point. Everything that we've seen, enjoy, analyze, everything is human construct. This, what we're doing right now, is a system built by a human that is being used by other humans to their personal things. I'm talking about intercommunications. Everything is a human construct. We go to school, we work, we get paid, we get married because religion, culture, and everything. I understand that that the Earth is not flat. However, and all this started because I see a TikTok about somebody making a podcast about this, interviewing people that they really believe the Earth is flat. And I know it's not, but make me wonder how much is real and how much is not. How much has been manipulation? And today, Christmas 25th, I know, shalala la 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 la. I never met Jesus Christ. I don't know if he born in a. I don't. I'm following a book that somebody wrote, and the faith of the humanity has pushed that book forward to make it the bestseller in the history of the world, obviously. And the best rock star in the world is Jesus Christ. I mean, that guy's been playing the same record for 2,000 years and we're still listening, right? I'm not talking about what my personal perception. So when I see these guys and their theory makes me wonder, not about if the earth is flat or not, makes me wonder what is real and what we've been played off. I personally don't believe we haven't been in the moon before. I think that we've been out and I think we've seen that it's round. I don't think we landed in the moon yet. I really don't. Because they stopped doing that because we did it in 63. Sometimes there's in 2023, you're talking over the phone and you can barely hear, and that connection was perfect in 1963.
It wasn't perfect. Okay, so that's actually a fair point though. But so you're half right on that. I'm gonna give that to you. So here's the thing though, a lot of that footage that they show, like if you see footage from the moon landing now in a documentary, it has been digitally enhanced. However, you can find it. You can find the original feed that was being televised in the 60s. Looks like dog shit.
It looks like dog shit, but it looks,
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, so here's the other thing. That was back in the days of analog television.
yeah.
So that's radio waves. So the degradation of radio waves it's not zero, but
I
it's
know, Jake, but if I know, but there's a lot of mathematical music and sound facts that don't make sense. But we'll get into that in a second. Let me finish the flat thing. But because that's a good point. But and I want to talk about it, but I don't want to forget the other thing. They say these theorists, they say that the map of the UN is actually the map of the world, the the construct of the map of the world, that we're surrounding by an iceberg, like a wall. Don't I know you're making your face, but stay with me because I'm getting to a point. I know. Then they say outside is Atlantis and other civilizations, and they're more. Now wait, Galilei, in so many years ago, I don't know the exact date, he said that the Earth was flat, and they almost cut his balls out. Then Galileo make research, he jumped to things, and then he denied it. Socrates and Aristotle say that if they say, my problem is not what is the truth or not, is how society doesn't let us change our point of view. I don't care if it's flat or round. I don't care. Okay. Now I'm going to put a parenthesis here because the people that they're just listening to us, you're not seeing my fellow communicator faces. He's making the face like, holy shit, oh, he's stupid. Oh, I don't know.
no,
But
it's not that it's stupid, but you said something that's very interesting there, and I think that's why some people latch onto it. So whether or not the earth is flat is actually extremely important, not least of which because if the earth was flat, we could not be doing what we're doing right now.
I get it. I get it. But my point is how much that we know is reality and how much being indoctrinated to us. The and that's the point. Obviously, I've been look. As everybody knows that the people that follow us, the two followers that we have. No, I'm just kidding. All the people that follow us know that I'm always looking for some information, something else. And I've been looking to documentaries about the human perception, and I think was Nietzsche or maybe it was Freud, but whatever, he says that the human perception is what we want it to be. If I want to believe that the earth is flat, I will believe it with all my core, and I will generate. Let me jump. So, if you have an accident and you convince yourself that what it hits you was a Chevy 1978, you will convince yourself to the point that years after you will be blaming the person in that Chevy, even you crash a tree, because the human mind is designed to protect ourselves. Now, it's well known in the Beatles era, and I'm going to lay more to my expertise. In the Beatles era, all the people that cry and scream at the beginning were hired actors. Did you know that?
No, I did
To
not know
create
that.
to create to create hysteria back in the day, the genius George Martin knew that if he put a specific people doing that reaction will create massive hysteria. Massive hysteria is a psychologically proved medical fact. If you put it, actually in Latin America, you rent people to cry when they're burying people. They're called professional criers. Yes.
Hmm.
So because when the person goes and starts crying, then the person gets sensitive, and everybody's crying for the person that died, and that's a job in Latin America.
But
I'm not
there's
talking about
so there's one person at the funeral who's like, ¿Quién es?
quienes lloran.
¿Quién es
You know what?
ella?
But good Spanish. But the massive hysteria happened. Now, thinking about that massive hysteria, that massive hysteria applied to different factors has been damaging or beneficially many people around this world. Uh, Germans in the Second World War, you're a fanatic of story. The soldiers, half of them were supporting Hitler, but the other half they didn't. But the culture and the mass hysteria and the fear allowed them to do and keep obeying. Jewish people, the massive hysteria and the lecture that was in the Torah, says the Torah, right? Yes.
The Jewish
That
Bible,
yeah
yes.
says that you need to respect. It's a law over there. You need to respect the law of the living people that designate where you live. That's what they never reveal and create a massive. Yeah, that's what they, dude. It was
Oh, never.
one.
I misunderstood the word you said. Yeah, rebel.
Yeah, they never reveal. The sorry, I'm using my college
Mm,
wording, but it's okay. Yeah, they were following the rules, waiting for the best. There
it
were three people with guns and 2,000 without, man. They could have.
up to a certain point, but and I believe you're talking exclusively. Your point, you're talking about Jews that were living in Germany. I
Yeah,
assume.
no, and
Yeah.
in Poland,
Well,
the
the
Warsaw
Polish.
Ghetto,
Oh,
the Warsaw
okay,
Ghetto.
yeah, but you had plenty of rebellion. Not least of what the first one that comes to mind is the Bielski Triad. You had a bunch of people in Eastern Europe creating these guerrilla groups. So,
Yeah, but the other, the normal Joe, the normal you, if you will, not
no,
Joe, the German Abraham, right? That had a family, didn't want to fight for the family because they were following this tendency to follow the rules. And follow the rules is okay. Don't take me wrong, people.
well,
But
but
we,
the question I would have for that is: was it necessarily? This is my own theory. Was it because the Torah commands them to follow their local laws, or was it more of let's be real. I don't think you can think of any group that's been persecuted more throughout history than the Jewish people. To a certain extent, I imagine the Jewish community at the beginning of all of that was probably like, they're excluding us again. This
uh,
too shall pass.
yeah, but there were like 200 years of difference.
Well, I know, but the collective memory of the Jewish people is
But
also
yeah, but
very
again, it goes to this collective memory of what we know and what is real.
yeah.
Uh, it's been, even a medical factor. When they're doing a test drug, 50% receive a placebo, and 50% from the 50% that receive a placebo, 25 to 20% actually think that they.
Haha. I guess the earth is flat. Well, now that we're alone, guess it's time for real talk.
I apologize. I don't know what happened. I'm back. Um, you see, the media is trying to censor me.
No,
Great job.
I said when you cut it, I was like, I guess the earth is flat.
Yeah, you see, even my headphones disconnect. That was funny though. You see, they're trying to control what I say. Jake, run, save yourself. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
But I can't.
I can hear you, but I don't.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. So my point is, what is truth, what is not, what we're entitled to know, what we decide to know based on our religion, culture, expression. And now, after this long nonsense and pointless introductions, let's talk about what is in ours entertainment, right? Entertainment in this. We talked about this before. It's something that I'm passionate about. Everything that happens, we saw it before in a movie.
Yeah.
The other day, there's a show that I love dearly because probably was the first shows that I watched from America called Cheers. I don't know if you know it, but everybody wants to go where everybody knows your name, right?
I was just about to say, isn't that the place you go when where everybody knows your name?
Yeah, there you go. Uh, and it was so upsetting, and I feel so heartbroken because you have Sam, the owner of a bar, ex baseball player, handsome, good looking, is Ted Dancing his prime, right? And then the waitress that is her counterpart or whatever manipulates him so bad. And then I see the generation after, with all my friends that got divorced and everything, suffering through that. And then I see the next generation how, I mean, I know I'm not allowed to talk freely about sexuality as much in YouTube and right,
Well, I think you're
but
cool as long as you're on a certain side.
yeah, I know I'm talking about the medical response of the. Oh, that was a joke. Good, I just got it. Uh, the medical analysis of the psychological response of the knowledge, a person in this generation that right now is from 22 to 30, 32, they're more open to their sexuality
Hmm.
more than a woman that it was from the 40s or for the 50s. Why? Just the simple pornography and access to pornography. Now they know more. The same way happened with the mass hysteria and when people say that the earth is flat. If these guys, the technology works against them because they just post something and they have 3,000 people saying you're stupid. But from those 3,000 people, probably 99% they don't know what they're talking about. They just follow a trend. And that's my point. Following trends without lack of knowledge just because you think is correct and you don't know is correct is what has been driving me crazy. And when I saw that in Cheers, man, it was such a passive aggressive manipulation that that same situation happened today and you could sue the person. It was I almost jump into the TV and hug Sam and say, Sam, everything's gonna be fine. Get away from this crazy woman. She's a toxic woman that is wanted you. I mean, she make him jealous with her brother. No, yeah, his brother, and then tell him, I wanna be with you, but if you don't say it, I will not. And they invite him to his house, and they kick him out of the house. Then he came back, trying to be the alpha, kiss her, carry her to the bed, and she said, "Let me get into something comfortable." And then he comes out with a night gown, all sexy. Say, "Sit down, let's have coffee because I just called the cops because you're breaking into my house." She called the cops,
Hmm.
and when he accepted that he was sorry, that he was trying to be an alpha male to prove that he loved her, it's like, oh, okay, I didn't call the cops, it's fine. The manipulation was absurd. He was straight with his safety. But anyway, I'm
True.
going crazy today.
True, but at any point he could have walked away. Um,
Now we know that. Well, that's my point. In that time, that generation thought that you couldn't walk away. Now we know. I mean, let's be honest. For my age, I'm really juvenile, right? In my thinking, I'm not a guy that. I mean, I'm not a guy that gotta drive kids in the morning to school or
mm,
worry about Sunday church with the kids or karate lessons or the Karate Kid. I just watched the Karate Kid again. The new one, Jalen Smith.
oh, yeah.
It's really good. What are you talking about, Jake?
The one with Jaden Smith.
It's not a bad movie.
It is a bad movie
Tell me why it's a bad movie.
because it is okay. So first of all, they're stealing the name, and they're
They're not
stealing.
stealing.
Yes, yes, they are. Okay,
It's
first,
called.
okay.
Okay,
First of
good.
all, if you're gonna title this thing properly, it should be called the Kung Fu Kid.
Jalen Smith as the kid. He's training karate when they meet for the first time. So he's the Karate Kid. Danielson. Danielson.
Karate don't do this.
Well, no, he was training karate on the TV.
Okay. And then he meets
Okay,
Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan teaches him.
teach him kung fu.
Yeah.
Teach him, but he's the Karate Kid.
Okay.
I'm the singer, regardless if I sing opera or not. Anyway, I like the movie. It's not a bad movie.
It's a bad
It shows good things. It's got a good message. The tension of how he loses the iconography action that he's fixing the car for a whole year, trying to make it better, and then he destroys the car to
Okay,
remind
that
him.
that I did like. I did like it would, but even that
The
is
the
derivative.
shadow work,
But
the
it's
shadow
all
work how they train.
but it's all derivative of the original Karate Kid.
Look at me, Jake.
I
I'm
can
doing
see
the
that.
snake and Jake.
I can see. Are you taking the jacket off or putting it on?
No, I'm trying to do the snake on you. You see, it's working.
Well,
Now you're moving with me.
if you're doing the snake, you want to keep it linear because, fun fact, a punch coming down the middle is much more difficult for a person to block than something from the outside.
Come on, I'm the one that has been learning Krav Maga for 3 years. I know that's you. Sorry.
That's why we go down the middle, man, with the rare exception of tight hooks.
Well, you can go with the middleman. I actually deal with executives. Sorry. As you guys know, this is Christmas, so we didn't prepare a podcast. So deal with us. Today
Yeah.
we're all over the place, but you guys know that we love our audience, and I really think that the Earth is flat. No, I don't think the Earth is flat.
So,
I
but
think it will
actually,
be awesome. It will be awesome that we discover that everything that's been telling us is a lie, and actually the Earth is flat, and Atlantis is outside.
we
It
would
will be
have
great.
no water
Why?
because it would fall off the
It's
side.
no, bro. It's inside the ice walls, and when they melt, the water is still there. It's it's like a cupola, a dome.
Oh,
They
well,
say
then
that
it's
it's
not
bigger.
flat, is it?
It's flat. It's not flat. It's a dome.
Okay, so now you're talking about dome Earth.
Yes. I don't like the theory, but I'm probably gonna
That's
write a movie
that's
about it.
that's a different. But what I did want to bring up, this is what I call it because I think it's a little bit more concise. Several philosophers have their own versions of it. I basically like there's basically two kinds of truth in this world. There's perceived truth and there's absolute truth. So, one of the
Well,
example.
three on virus truth. Come
Okay,
on.
we'll funnel that under perceived truth. So your example of the car accident, right? This person, in their own mind, the truth is they were hit by a Chevy truck. However,
Yeah.
whatever their perceived truth may match up with the actual truth, i.e., gravity existing. We can prove it, but somebody first had to say, wait, Isaac Newton had to first say, wait, this is a force, not an attraction, blah, blah. Anyway, so I think the ultimate goal, in my opinion, of science is to marry the perceived truth with the absolute truth, the objective truth, and if they don't match up, then you discard the perceived truth. But people are often more attached to their perceived truths because it's personal than the absolute objective truth because it's usually a hard pill to swallow. It's unpleasant. For
Yeah,
example,
it's unpleasant.
yeah.
Like the Earth is flat.
I don't get why people hang on to that so much.
Well, the reality is because they want to feel special and different, decoding something because their lack of attention because mom and dad never gives them a hug. I understand it's because of that, or they get fond, or they're. I mean, there's a lot of people that they don't like systematic churches, right? Like Scientology, because let's be honest, they follow a guy that is sleeping a fucking yacht that built a fucking bad radio that didn't work. That's what Scientology is. They choose to believe in that, and they pay $200,000 to $600,000 just to access. If it's right, no. If it's the truth, no. It's a bullshit business.
And an
If
oddly
it if
transparent one.
yes, but they want to feel specials within the crowd. Why do you think the young uh, generation want to have grilled teeth full of diamonds and golden chains that are thick like my arm. What? Because they want to have differences from other ones. They're choosing the right thing. No, to be honest with you, if you don't have to go to college, but if you study a lot, you will have more difference. Knowledge has always been the key. Knowledge, love, and dedication is the key of everything. But they go to the easy factor because it's easier to believe or copy something that they're watching on entertainment to follow their lead. If the earth is flat, and humor me, if the earth is flat, round, or a fucking triangle, I don't know. I've never been in a fucking spaceship. I choose to believe why they teach me and indoctrinated in the school telling me that this is gravity. They teach me that. Why? Because Newton did it with an apple, right?
Well, and he formulated the equation that proved its existence. It
Yeah.
mathematically works, but
Personally, if I open that can of worms, right? I don't know how to do that equation. I don't.
right, but you can. So this is I see where you're going with this, and it's a case a lot of people make, but and I don't mean this in a disparaging way. Your ignorance of something does not disprove it. It just means that you are not at a place where you can understand it yet. So it is the
The same
job.
way that you and me don't know if the earth is a dome.
No, no, but we can know because other people have done the math and can explain
The
the math,
same
and you can
like
check it.
the same like the guys from Scientology that says that the real fate and God is in a fucking yacht
But
lost it. Now,
here's the
hold on a
here. No,
second.
no. Here's the
You
difference,
and
though.
me know about the story of Scientology, the story of Christianism, the story because we studied about it. However, it's just a old story that we've been listening forever and ever and ever and ever. If you say the lie so many times, people will start believing.
Until you go to, and this is the difference, though. So those equations that I'm talking about that prove the existence of gravity, and here's the difference between the truth and beliefs. The truth is verifiable no matter who does it. So when Newton published those equations, and this is how the scientific method works, you post the results. These are my findings. This is my equation. Whatever. Everyone in the community does a double check, and if it doesn't work for them, then you go back to square one. If somebody finds an error in your equation, you go back to square one. It may still be correct, or you might have fudged one thing here or there. But 230 some odd years ago, Isaac Newton creates calculus. It's been verified. It works. It
First
cannot
of
be
all, Isaac
disproven.
Newton, fuck you.
Why?
I don't need calculus in my life.
Oh well,
I
no.
don't personally. I
Well,
don't.
but
That,
but
but you
calculus
know,
led
but
to so many wonderful things. Even though I'm not gonna
I know.
lie,
I do miss it.
I don't want to. Calculus makes my brain hurt, and I don't even want to go there. But I respect the
But
fact that
thanks to
there are
him,
people out there that find calculus fun, and I'm glad these people exist because my life is infinitely better because Isaac Newton would rather have sat in his room and made up a branch of mathematics than get laid. I'm infinitely thankful that Isaac Newton was that guy
yes.
instead of a player.
Well, maybe he was a player.
Actually, they're pretty sure he died a virgin, but that could be a
Are you
wives' tale.
serious?
Yeah, they're
Now
pretty
that's a
sure.
waste of life.
Well, I don't know.
Damn.
We're still talking about him today.
So let me ask you something. Is there aliens, or we are so selfish that we think we're the only life in the universe?
Okay, so I'm gonna give my answer on that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I want to know your answer.
so, are there aliens in the sense of like what most people think of when they say aliens, meaning that there are extraterrestrials that visit the planet and abduct people regularly? No, but mathematically, I think it's foolish to assume that we're the only planet with intelligent life, even in our own galaxy. Not to mention the actually we know the number of galaxies that we can observe with our current technology. I'm sure there's more, but I think I read, and I'm rounding here, in our own galaxy, there's something like 100 million stars. And even if you factor, let's say 1% of those stars have a planet or more, and let's say 1%, less than 1% of those planets have water, dihydrogen monoxide, H2O. And then let's say less than 1% of those have water like we have on Earth, which means it would be capable, theoretically at least, of supporting life. That's still a giant number.
Yeah.
So
So there's life
mathematically,
outside.
yeah. Yeah, I think mathematics it's a near mathematical certainty to me.
It's people that will tell you that it's not.
Well, good for them, but what I would say to them is, okay, right now
So the
neither
earth
one
is
well
flat.
but right now, no, here's the difference. Right now neither one of, like, let's say another person and I are having this conversation. Okay, right now the only thing we have to try and prove one point or another is math. And if you do the math, it's statistically probable, but not a certainty. So what I would say is like, okay, we can continue discussing this, but until one of us has the ability to actually check this, we will never know. Now that could all
Well,
change if we get the beginning of Star Trek Enterprise and a Klingon crash lands in Iowa. Well, then all of a sudden the perceived truth
dude,
becomes the objective
listen to
truth.
the American. It doesn't can crash in Italy, not in Paraguay. Got to crash in Iowa.
Well, that's
Fucking
because
nationalist.
that's what happens in the
I know.
show.
I know. No, no, I'm kidding. I get what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying. But my point remains: everything, regardless of the knowledge that is being doctrinated by us and to ourselves, humans. So it's 50% of probability that the Earth is a dome and of the Earth is round. Because yes, it's been proved, but these guys, not me. Let me repeat this to the audience. I'm just sharing what I saw. I don't believe it's round. I don't believe it's a dome. To be honest with you, I don't give a flying fuck what it is, personally. But as a communicator, because I hate to say the word influencer, that's a trend. It's communicator. I think that the probability that they are right is the same probability that they're not. Why? Because the people, and I know what you're saying. I already told you, virus is provable. Yes, but the proof that you're saying is based in the knowledge of another human and the knowledge from the previous human and the guy that wrote in a book and the other guy. If I tell you right now a theory that is strong enough for every three people to believe from 10, the next time they tell those three people, gonna convince other two, right? So now I have a leader and uh, 21 followers. And after those 21 followers talk to 10 more people and they convince three more, at the end we're gonna have a religion, a cult, because it's easier to adapt the necessity of our lack of knowledge, culture, of feeling, based in the fact that instead of making an analysis and an analysis or a little investigation about it, we just go and do it. We just go and assume what is the easiest and best for us. I respect the people that, even I know they're not right, that are pushing the society, and we talked about it last episode. The people that push the boundaries of society and common knowledge to prevail, I respect that a lot. Like the guys from the submarine, they fuck it and they die, but at least they push the boundaries. If we don't push the boundaries, we wouldn't have a podcast. If we don't push the boundaries, I didn't have long hair at my age. People will think that it's crazy. My young girlfriend says, "Well, now that I'm getting older, I'm gonna cut my hair and be blonde." I go like, "I want you blonde when we were 28. Why do you need to wait?" Because people keep following their culture. Okay, long shot. You know that I love stretching. You know that I love Strange. What Judgment Day tell us? Terminator the Judgment Day tell us. What the story tells exactly.
Like the overall message, or
Yeah, yeah, the overall message. Stop giving control to the machines because machines are gonna fuck you up.
well,
That's
yeah,
what we're doing.
but then he got saved by a machine too.
No, wait. Yeah, but that's a Hollywood ending. But my point is, don't try to make me go crazy here. I'm trying to control myself. The Earth is flat, and Bill Clinton's supposed to get a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky. That's what my brain is. It
Well, he
was pushing.
did
Yeah, that was good, right?
a couple.
I mean, don't take me.
So here's a fun fact though, and this is kind of my middle ground. So I the Earth is not flat. However, people who believe it is should absolutely be able and have the ability to put forth their positions. But if you do that, you have to accept the criticism and the results of other people refuting your information. So
I'm,
when it
I'm with you.
so when it comes to flat Earth, there is actually a way that most people can prove that the Earth is in fact not flat. Here's the fun fact. So at slightly below 35,000 feet on a clear day, you can start to see the curvature of the horizon. Commercial airlines, depending upon it varies, but they fly at their top altitude anywhere between 31,000 and 42,000 feet, which means if you're on a commercial airline in the middle point of the flight, you should be able to look out your window if it's a clear day and it's not covered by clouds and see the curvature of the horizon. You can also do this with boats on the water as well. Once they reach a certain distance, they start to disappear over the water line. And these are all observable things that can be done with the naked eye. So you don't need any special instruments. You don't need any of that. Even though this is verifiably true, with the naked eye, there are still people that don't accept it. And that is where you get to the point of you're in my opinion, you're no longer questioning things. You are now just fighting for another indoctrination, another ideology, but one that's already been disproven. So you can't even, like, you have religious ideology, but at the end of the day, you can't ultimately refute religion because at the end of the day, they always have the faith card. But flat Earth is not it's a verifiably false. Like, you can see it with the naked eye. That would literally be like if people said, "Look, Jesus has come back," and the dude they said was Jesus was like, "Nah, my name's Dave." And they still said, "No, this is Jesus." That's what flat earthers sound like.
No, I get it. But if Jesus come today, poor guy, bro, they would ban him. They will. It will be worse than put him in a cross and kick the shit out of it before. Social media will destroy. If somebody comes right now and say I'm Jesus, I mean the guy will be suffering so much because society is not welcoming for a change or an improvement. They don't want to have a change.
No, that's true. I
They
think it
don't
would
care
be.
about.
I think it would be super interesting if Jesus was the real deal and came back today. I think that would be. It would be horrible to watch, but it would also be very interesting because there would be
But
some
at this,
people that would be down for it, but
but
most people.
the same. Let's do a tropicalization of the date. From Israel to here. So if he comes today, he will become a pop star, a rock star, had a lot of following in social media. He will be dominating all the social media, and at the end of the day, somebody will ban him and he will commit suicide. For us, that will be the tropicalization of today, because nobody's responding, and YouTube and Google ban his YouTube channel. He's not monetizing anything anymore.
Yeah, you haven't watched Hamlet 2 yet, have you?
Wait, what?
You haven't watched the movie Hamlet 2 yet, have you?
No, no, you told me to
That's
watch it, but
that's why it makes me laugh because there's a musical number in there. Okay, in the play, Jesus comes back, but he has to come back as a celebrity because it's the only way people will listen to his message, and that leads into the musical number "Rock Me, Sexy Jesus." And there's a line in the song where they talk about Jesus having a swimmer's bod, and that's when he goes into like, no, if Jesus came back today, it would have to be a sex symbol because that's the only way people.
He will be a sex symbol. People will listen to him.
Yeah.
And he'll be a big boy. He'll be a big boy. He'll be a big boy.
Hey,
Sorry.
he'll be on a boat too.
Yeah. And he wouldn't walk on water. He will slide on water and make the.
No, he'll just use water skis, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We don't need miracles now. We got the water jetpacks things.
That's crazy. I want one. I don't know if I want one. Yeah.
I think I'd like to try it. I don't know that I'd want one per se, but I think it'd be fun to try.
So, yeah, I don't know. And I want to try the one that they're doing. That you're like Iron Man and you actually fly with the backpack and the one in the hands.
Yep.
That will be cool.
That
Do you
looks
see
cool.
the new
Looks dangerous though.
the new monocopter drone for humans that you pilot?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. It's $280,000.
That's actually not as bad as I thought it would be.
And the issue is the FAA, and I mean you can use it over the city.
Yeah.
You can, and that's good. I don't want to be walking and suddenly somebody.
Well, and then I mean, there's a myriad of other concerns. Like, it's not safe. Like,
probably 3 years ago, a company opened in California that was delivering groceries with a drone.
Mm-hmm.
And it just lasts 2 months because the FAA blocked every possible area just for the hell of it, just in case something happened. And a magnificent idea that could be the father of new transportation gotta stop. Again, people don't like changes.
Well, it's not. So it's funny you mentioned that because I'm gonna paraphrase Neil deGrasse Tyson because he actually has the. You know why we don't have flying cars?
What?
Well, we actually do. They're called helicopters. However,
Okay.
they're not widespread for individual use because when you're moving in a helicopter or a plane, you're moving in 3 dimensions. Well, you're moving in 3 planes of motion. Vastly different than a car. Cars can only go backwards and forwards, and then you can
two.
change the turn.
It's 2 dimensions.
Yeah, effectively. You're still moving through space, but you can't move up or down at the same time. It's not feasible to have safe traveling when everyone can move on the y-axis as well as the x and the z. It's not safe. They have enough trouble keeping all the commercial airlines from crashing into each other. Imagine if everyone's mode of transportation was something that could go in the air. Not even everybody. Let's imagine that you replace 1% of the cars in the United States.
In the world.
Oh, I mean, even in the United States, it would be a bloodbath.
It will be a bloodbath.
Think about how many collisions there are just in cars. And now you've got other flying cars, you've got planes, you've got birds, you've got. Oh God, it would be a disaster.
It would be a disaster. However,
so when I heard him say that, I was like, "Yeah, it would be cool." Well, no, actually, it would be awful. There'd be so much unnecessary death and destruction.
You know what? It's funny. You're right. All my life, I've been against private jets because people die in private jets, not in commercial airplanes. And I'm this close to rent a private jet. Don't ask why, you know me. But to rent a private jet for a year, that is cheaper. And then it's a business. You rent it for a year, and then you sub-rent it to charter.
Yeah.
You actually make money with it.
Mm-hmm.
Millions. You're not talking about a $200 business. Subletting a jet is a huge business. So I'm tapping into that. But again, the people don't like changes. People don't like evolution. For more, they say they like it. Have you dig deeply into TikTok?
What do you mean dig deeply? What do you mean?
Like analyze the people that is on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Analyzing the critical mass on TikTok is uneducated people.
Uneducated? Well,
they're funny, they're charismatic, they're hard workers, but they're not highly educated people.
except you can't well, you don't trick the algorithm. You can train the algorithm though, but most people don't do that. But they've done experiments. Uh, it, the TikTok algorithm is actually, it's funny. It's simultaneously very sophisticated and also kind of stupid because it just keeps feeding what you give it. So you can trick it if you do it consciously. Like take for example my TikTok feed. Um, a, I'd say about a month or two into it, I started making a conscious because I did it kind of as an experiment and because it was getting kind of annoying. Every time there's a girl that looks like she's just selling OnlyFans, scroll past it as fast as I can. And simultaneously, anytime I saw an animal on my screen, dog, cat, whatever, I watched the video because I do enjoy that content. So it's not like it was a hard experiment to do. If you look at my
So
TikTok
you're
feed,
into bestiality.
not that kind,
Okay, sorry.
but no, but like if you look at my TikTok feed now, it's essentially, I'd say it's probably 70% animal videos and then weird things that fascinate me for some reason. Like, I just found a profile today that he takes colored clay and mixes colors from flags to tell you what, like, the mixed color is. I don't know why that fascinates me.
Yeah, I don't want the fans want to listen to your craziness.
Yeah. And I also found a channel
Hey,
where a guy takes like those stretchy toys, cuts one end off, and then fills them with water until they explode. I don't know why I was intrigued by this, but now it's like all I see.
I get it, but I'm saying that the general mass,
Yeah,
including myself, don't take me wrong, it's not. You can go to TikTok, right, and see people debating about the Nobel Prize or CEOs of a company. No, you usually see singers, rock stars, models, or people that want to break the mold, right? Or
yeah.
break the pattern of or their so that TikTok is becoming a mass manipulator of the masses.
On yeah, that's you're right for the vast majority, but I just want to give people hope. You can find that on TikTok. You just have to search for it.
I try.
Oh no,
I
dude, if you
try.
if you if you like if you search out
I don't know how to write though, so that could
oh
be a
that's
problem.
if you search how to write on TikTok, it'll teach you. Well,
Yeah, but
actually
I don't know how to write.
there's a profile on there that teaches you the Korean alphabet.
Yeah, I saw it.
So no, there's actually there's a ton of knowledge on TikTok. It's just that
Yeah, but
see
it's common knowledge. It's not a specified knowledge.
I no
I mean,
I disagree. You can get really specific, oddly specific. Um,
yeah, okay. What I meant is not master's degree communication. I haven't
okay,
seen.
fair, fair.
I'm talking about the mass of it. I'm not talking about specific. Of
Okay,
course, if you look into something, we will find it. But
but
what I'm saying is becoming a mass manipulator of the masses.
well, yes, but here's where I don't think we don't disagree on that. But I think again, here's where my brain goes because everyone blames TikTok for that, but it's the same. Facebook and Instagram Reels, it's essentially the same thing. YouTube is essentially the same thing. And all an algorithm is it takes the data of what you've been watching and it gives you more of it. People are people are talking about the TikTok algorithm exclusively, it seems, as something that is purposefully engineered to poison the minds of the American youth. No, the difference is they point out China's version of the app. It's like, well, they push this. Yes, that's because in China, they've engineered the algorithm to push that content. In America, where we have more freedom, the algorithm just gives you more of what you want. It's not nefarious, it's just a thing that is. But the American public, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The vast majority of the American public is just because we're
Yeah,
not we've lost that spark of well, in case in point, I think I don't remember what year they did it, but they interviewed a bunch of they did a survey of a bunch of elementary schoolers in the US, and the number one desired occupation was YouTuber.
yeah, because YouTube and TikTok did something magnificent. They give you
So
money.
well, but okay, so let's but how do we solve that problem? because I think a lot of people want to complain. So here's I
It's an
have
unstoppable force.
no I have a solution. Skid
Okay.
skid into it. So you get you get these big influencers for okay. Let's Logan Paul, big influencer. Pay him to have scientists on his show. Pay him to
People
have,
won't watch it.
but they will because Logan Paul says it's cool.
Yes, yes, but it's not gonna work, bro. It's not
Oh,
gonna
I,
work
I,
because people has it will have a following. It will have a specific following, but it's not gonna work because the people that the people that we use social media, right, have our own agenda, and we're using social media to accomplish factors that they become in the past cheaper that go to the mass media. If you want to put a commercial about Toon Talk 2.0 in the radio, would cost us from 10 to 80,000. If we go national, $200,000. If we want to put commercials in Instagram about Toon Talk, it's gonna cost us 700 bucks. So that's the mass difference. And guess what? If you do it right in YouTube, YouTube will give you money for it.
oh
I
yeah,
remember when TikTok started, oh, it's from China. Oh, we hate China. COVID, oh, China. You can make money with this. Oh, TikTok is really good. The same with the LeBron James, the same with the LeBron James and the Nikes. Money talks and bullshit walks. Always in every part of the world. Regardless, drug dealers, they're role models now. Why? Because they got the bling bling. The
yeah. So
reality is social media is not good for people because it doesn't enhance your brain,
oh,
control your
but it,
brain.
but it could be. And here's okay.
I know it could be. It could
So
be.
here's where, and I just as an individual, it appears to me that I think a little bit more long term than the average person. So you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. However, let's take that a step further. Let's say, so okay, this is a real world example. So we know that we are going to have a shortage of tradespeople. We already have a shortage, but it's going to get worse. So if we were a smarter society, we would have already taken steps to do this. But one of the things we could do is you start some social media channels and you subsidize certain influencers and you pay these people, and they already exist, by the way, people like Mike Rowe. Dirty Jobs was a huge show when it was on. Take people like that, put them on social media and say, hey, we're going to build a house. Ain't this shit cool? And like you said, put pennies on the dollar for advertising. I guarantee you it'll take years, but in 5 to 10 years, you will have so many more people in the trades. It'll make your head spin. It's all about what you point that stuff at.
Yeah, it's a business plan and a business development. I get it. So all this because I think the earth is flat. Fuck you.
Well, but so there are people who, and I know he's kind of fallen out of favor, which to be fair, he's put his foot in his mouth a couple of times, but people like Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson is that he's a fantastic, I call him a science influencer, even though he would hate that term. But I mean, that's effectively what
You
he
will.
is. But that's what he is. He's a science influencer. He
Yeah,
actually he actually says
it's a good example.
he actually says he's a science communicator, by the way. But people like him and Bill Nye, and there are other people that are less successful, but Dr. Michio Kaku, he's another one. He's been on a few documentaries, but he has a social media presence. But I would say Dr. Tyson is probably the biggest one right now. And he understands what he's doing. So he goes on these shows. Like he's been on the Joe Rogan Experience. And he tells people cool things. And he gets them with things like, did you know that in Star Wars, this kind of thing, that kind of stuff. It's very effective. It's extremely effective, mind you.
It's it's extremely effective,
Do we just
and
need
I will
more of
love.
them?
I was gonna say I will love to have more of that, but suddenly Logan Paul and Jake will just like Jake. Logan is an arrogant freak, but I like him. Jake, I like him a little better, but he's not showing the right society. He's full of tattoos. he's calling everyone stupid, and he opened a new app like a couple of weeks back about betting, and his business plan is amazing. They're making people win money, putting money in. It's fantastic. However, it's not the society that we're supposed to have. And go back to the question that I say, the premises of Judgment Day, right, is giving everything. With the AI, people that have knowledge says that we're gonna start working just 3 days a week. It's fantastic. We're gonna be able to have 4 days of rest, 3 days, but society needs to rest for days, bro. It doesn't.
Oh no. So you know what I say to that every time I hear it? I say, good. Less competition for me.
I get it. But suddenly society, like everybody used TikTok, and like everyone has a Facebook. Remember back in the day when it's like, oh, I don't do that. I hate that. What is that? That's for young people. Everybody has a Facebook now.
Yeah, so
Everyone.
many so many people got Facebook that people stopped using Facebook.
Yeah. But the same way will be in a generation where people are just working 3 days.
Yeah.
AI is doing everything. And yes, you can work more. I mean, there's people that work Saturday and Sundays, but the system doesn't work Saturday and Sundays.
The automated system will. It's funny. I was actually thinking about that today. I was thinking about that today, actually on my drive home, and I thought about that, or I was thinking about that rather
Do
because I
you
was,
drive?
yeah.
Are you rich, Mr. Christmas? Sorry.
Well, the reindeer do most of the work, but
I knew it.
they're automated. They're AI reindeer. They've got GPS and all that, and the GPS only works because the world is a fucking sphere.
For parentheses, I really want to make a GPS that, I was driving my sister some places, and she's like Chris Rock when he's on drugs. She swears a lot. And I was gonna put the GPS on the car. And she's like, no, I know where to tell you. She's the worst GPS that ever existed. But if I develop a GPS with her voice, it'll be like, here, oh, what an asshole. You passed the freaking exit. Oh, fuck. It would be so funny to have a GPS with her.
I actually really like. There's an episode of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon uploads his own voice into the GPS, but he programs it so as it's giving you directions, it also gives you fun facts, and they're playing it for laughs. And I'm
That's
like,
funny.
that's actually I actually want that. Can I get this? Because I
Yeah.
would love that.
Phil, sorry that I'm joining so much people today when it was the first time I went to the gym after 6 months.
Oh, you went. What time did you go? Because I went at like 5:30
No,
is
no,
when I got
no.
there.
Actually, I did it late. I was there at 10:30. Workout probably 2 hours. I took a massage. I went to the tanning bed. The red, right? But I'm so exhausted that I was texting you and I put the phone up and I couldn't hold it. Look, my arms. I can't even hold my arms because I knew I didn't have to work out as before, right? So I joined this gym. Actually, I joined the gym thanks to you. So I saw the gym that you were going. I go like, you know what? I'm gonna take it a shot, and I found fantastic. This is not a paid commercial, but I was paying Equinox $300 a month, and now I'm paying $27 in anytime in Planet Fitness. I'm the happiest man ever. They just open a Planet Fitness, so everything is new. It's
Mm.
empty, to be honest with you, and they have this perfect thing that reminds me of football training. That is a 30 minutes workout.
Oh, I
You
love
go
their
there,
30 minute. I love their 30-minute
you
circuit.
got the green light, you work, you don't have to be
I love
thinking,
that thing.
and then you rest. So for the people that don't know, you have a step and you have instructions and you're gonna follow the steps for a minute. And when you have a red light, you stop, you breathe, you look the next exercise, and you do 15 minutes doing uh, jumping jacks, launches, and everything with the steps. So it's harder. It's a high impact. And
Hmm.
then 15 minutes in a machine. And because it's a brand new, they have the clock next to the machine now.
Oh, that's so
So
much better.
as soon as you grab it, the minute start going because the other one you need to follow. But when you're in the machine, Sometimes other people come and use that machine. I don't know why.
Yeah, and they're not
I told
supposed
them
to, but
they don't, but now when you grab it, you have the minute, and then you got a red light here. And working out without counting gives you the freedom of pushing your body.
mm-hmm.
So when I finished the 30 minutes, Jake, I was exhausted. I was
Yeah.
like,
That is the one thing I miss about Planet Fitness. There, because I go to Crunch Fitness. They have something similar.
"Are you gonna crunch?" I tried
Yeah.
crunch, but I didn't like it.
The reason I like it is I got okay. So at least the Planet Fitness I was at, yours might be different, but every Planet Fitness around here, they only have Smith machines for squat racks and bench press.
Okay.
And I suspected this, and then I found out I was right once I got to Crunch, because they've got, I don't even know what you call them, but they've got like free range squat racks and bench press. And what I realized is that I was isolating only certain muscles because the bar stabilized for me. So I'm
Mm,
not training the stabilizer muscles at all. So what I can lift safely, I could lift more, but I'm not trying to get hurt. Particularly on the bench press, is I can't, I could probably push myself and lift the same, but the stabilizer muscles are not trained at all. So I've had to regress back down and do lower weights so that I can train the stabilizer muscles,
yeah.
because it's not isolated movement. And I was getting
Well,
sick of it.
what are you talking about? I'm training like Rocky with real lunges in the snow. I'm running. I call it Planet Fitness because it's Planet Earth. I'm just
It's
kidding. No,
planet
I'm
Earth.
Planet Earth. No, the reality is, and I'm and enjoyed. I used to work out really hard. I mean, you guys can see it in the picture of the previous videos. Then when I got COVID, I really got weak. So it was a month and a half sick of COVID, then 6 to recover. And after that, I started working out really slow, really lazy. And then I gave myself 6 months without working out. And now getting back in there is my brain is telling me to do things. One part of my brain. The other one is telling me, no, 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 slow down. And my body, actually, I haven't felt the lack of force in my body till today, because I was training football in college.
Mm.
I was doing I don't know, the exercise. You are doing a plank and you're moving the legs like climbing,
Oh,
being
mountain
still climbing.
climbers. Oh, mountain
In a
climbers
point,
suck, bro.
I love them. I love them. You know what? I have this basketball coach that teach teach me, and then Tony Robbins rephrased that. If you have an exercise that you hate, the first thing that you need to say is, "I love it.
Yeah, I know. There's a
I love
couple.
it.
There's a couple of lifts that I do because I hate them.
You love them."
I
Because
call
if
I
you
call
program
them.
your brain to love them, your brain, your body's gonna. Anyway,
It hasn't worked
I'm
yet.
starting.
They still suck.
I'm gonna share my diet with you, and I'm probably gonna hate it or love it. 4 ounces of tuna, 2.5 ounces of salmon, well cut, everything organic, blah blah blah. 4 ounces of a steak, a full onion, half a cup of rice, a bowl of salad, 2 times a day. That's it. And in the morning, two green apples, two boiled eggs, and yogurt with raisins and cranberries and nuts. That's it. That's what I'm having for breakfast, then lunch, and then dinner. The same the thing. It's not cheap,
No.
but yeah. But to be honest with you, it's not expensive because I'm spending $100 a week, 7 full days. But I know I don't need it in the streets. If you go and eat a
Yeah,
pizza,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
ten
yeah, yeah,
bucks.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm saving more money because you order Popeyes. God, I love you. Popeyes, I love the sandwich. Is with the package is $15. Obviously, you don't need a lot. A lot. It's 30. That's 4 days of my meal. So I've been eating that, and the funny fact is, you know how much I weigh? How much do you think I weigh? Look at this, and this
how,
is one day of exercise.
how much do you weigh right now?
Yeah,
And how tall are you?
5'11" and a half.
Okay, so we'll round up to 6 feet. 215, 220?
I wish I'm 251.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my muscles are. Look at this. It's one day of going in the gym, bro. My muscles are extremely big for the sport. So I hold a lot of water in the muscle, not in the
Mm.
fat. I'm not fat. You see the pictures. I'm not a skinny boy. I wish, right? I mean, I can put Justin Bieber in my right pocket, right? So, but it's funny that I'm 251. So it's funny because the doctor in his think that I'm obese. So like, I'm not obese. Go to hell. Yeah, but you're supposed to be I'm supposed to be 153, but to be healthy. I saw the chart
At
today. I
wait,
went to
wait,
the
wait.
doctor.
At 5'11 and a half? I'd say you were emaciated if you weighed
No, no, no,
151.
no. To be honest, okay. I was looking at it's called BMI.
Yeah, BMI.
BMI. I was looking. Okay, this is maybe you're gonna love it. I don't talk about it, but once a year, I devote myself 2 months to do a voluntary work in a clinic for people without. And I
Mm-hmm.
go there and I held them as an interpreter, right, for Latino people or Japanese people, whatever language I can speak. And I mean, while you're waiting to start, I was a BMI thing, and I want to move it. And if I want the perfect, I'm not talking about healthy in the limit, the perfect, I'm supposed to weigh 151. I know.
I've never given much credence to the BMI because let's all remember, I don't know how much he weighs now, but when he was like on top, Brock Lesnar was like 310 pounds.
But Brock is Brock, bro.
Well, I know, but by the BMI, he is morbidly obese. Um,
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah. But the upper chest of that guy is. Remember when Cain Velasquez kissed his ass?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Hey, I'm Latino. Fucking
No, no,
embrace it,
no. I'm just
motherfucker.
saying that like that is like Brock doesn't look back on that fondly.
Yeah, of course not. But you know what? That's funny. Cain Velasquez's career is gone many years ago, and Brock's still fighting now. The This is the WWE, right?
Yeah, he is
No,
in WWE. Yeah,
WWE. Yeah. I always get confused. I know that there are many, but I get confused who is in who.
yeah.
Do you remember there was a time that they were jumping from one to another, and that
Well,
got confused.
they're kind of back to that. Not quite the way it was during the Monday Night Wars because you're thinking the WCW WWF era, but
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar came in the scene when WWE was pretty much the only game in town. So
yeah. Actually, I like the guy.
oh
I
no,
like the
like you
guy.
can't. But here's the thing about Brock though, because you brought up Cain Velasquez, Cain Velasquez is a fucking warrior, but Brock Lesnar is an attraction.
Yeah,
He's a
he's a
genetic
freak of
freak of
nature.
nature, and he knows
Yeah,
it,
yes.
and he markets it.
Yeah, I mean, how tall is he? 6'6", 6'4".
That's a. I think he's 6'6", but I'm gonna
I think he's 6'4". My memory doesn't. That's
maybe
I used to be a fan of the MMA,
yeah
but then I bought my gloves and I was practicing, and I was like hitting 6'4", right?
6'3"
6'3". Oh, I was
and
closer.
build weight of 286 pounds. But there was one point where he was over 300, but that might have been inflated. But well, almost. But when he was in the UFC, he was fighting at 265.
So the doctor that treats me is the doctor that volunteers as well in this clinic. That's what I want over there. And I saw her today, and I say hi. She's like, "Oh, you're losing weight," and I go like, "You really think I'm obese, doc?" She's like, "Call me Elaine. I'm not your doctor anymore." I go like, "Look, you really think I'm obese, woman?" And she's like, small Asian woman. I call her Mengele. She doesn't like that because it's an ironic joke, and but probably half of the people when I say it don't even know what I'm saying it. Because she's too tough, man. She doesn't say feel better. She's like, take care of yourself. Like, calm down, Mengele. But it's fun. So I don't know how we finished talking about my diet. Oh, I said yeah. So I volunteer in that, and it's been a good experience. And I know that you need to be in the right state of mind to volunteer. But if you guys have some time free, just go and do it once a year, man. the perception of the people that is suffering. The other day I was watching the movie The Pianist again, and I think we talk about this.
Yeah, it's a good
My
movie
mother
though.
asked me, my mother told me, "Why you watch it?" I said, "To remind me how good we are. Sometimes we take for granted things." And today being Christmas, come on, it's nice. There's people that they don't have the luck to be doing a podcast with his friend. They don't have the luck to be having all the commodities. I mean, America, we have a bad situation with a lot of things, but Central and South America
It
people,
it could be way worse. Like
yeah,
I was I didn't say it on this podcast, but I mentioned this when we did our first podcast ever together. Is I was fortunate enough to go down to an area of Mexico that I always half jokingly, but it's actually true. I refer to it as real Mexico, not like Cancun or Cabo or any of the real touristy areas. I got to see real Mexico, like solo gringo Mexico, like only
solo
one.
gringo. That's funny.
Um,
That's fun. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and I got to see what real I got to see real poverty. And
yeah.
A lot of Americans will never see actual poverty. They'll see poverty by our standards.
Of
But
course, everybody sees the poverty, but their standards.
yeah,
Yeah.
but poverty in the world standard, I mean like no indoor plumbing poverty.
No, brother,
Like
no door
yeah,
in the
that's true.
house.
That's true. No door. Yeah. Um
Forget about indoor. No roof or like this metal thin roof, tin
or
roof.
the incomplete roof, yeah, where it's still open at the
And and it's funny. Everybody like will see in their perception, and that's heavenly for things in people in Angola
mhm.
or in freaking Nebraska. I'm just kidding. No, in Angola or in Africa, in every part of Africa, Nigeria. It's like, I was making when I owned I don't know if we talked about this before. A few years back, I owned a TV channel in LA, and I wanted to do something big with the TV channel, and I make a deal with a telephonic system, right, in Africa. But when I saw the numbers, I need to pull the plug because I didn't know that there's some villages. This is 4 years ago, five, that they share one cell phone for the kids to learn and for them to call their families. One cell phone for a village. So it wasn't able for us to put modems because in Africa you don't have a modem in your house. You pay like it's the 80s here, for messages, and you pay for minutes. And it's like, how come countries that we have everything, we pay it the cheaper? Countries that they don't have that, it pay so expensive. So in that wheel, I hope you're having a good Christmas.
Quite a
I
good one.
hope you, I hope everybody that wants toys have toys. Everybody that want to get laid got laid. Everybody that want to eat eat. Everybody wants to the Chicago Bears to keep winning, so probably they make the playoffs. Good. Yeah, I know they will.
I'm
They
just
will.
I'm not an NFL guy, but man, I'm a little nervous about this NCAA championship.
Oh yeah, yeah. We talk about that. But anyway, I hope everybody got a good Christmas. And before adieu, I think it's time for recommendations, Jake.
Well, even though we didn't talk a lot about Christmas, I'm going to.
Because last ones we talk about Christmas and New Year's, remember?
Yeah, yeah, we touched on it.
Yeah. You want to talk more about Christmas? I don't believe in it. Fuck, I'm the Grinch.
You know what the best thing about Christmas is, though, as a holiday, though, in all seriousness, is you don't have to be anything to celebrate it because
Yeah.
we have secularized it to a certain degree. But like, here's the thing: if you're a Christian, you can absolutely celebrate Christmas in the Christian sense, but you can also say Merry Christmas to anyone because the sentiment is not, at least in the United States, it's no longer tied to a specific religion. So this hat, I don't care who you are. It's for you. You can have one. You don't
Really?
have to
Can I
be.
have one?
Well, I mean, it'll take a minute, but
Can I have one, Mr. Wizard?
Mr.
Sorry.
Wizard. But you know what I mean? And to me, Christmas always has been because I'm not a overly religious fellow, but I love this time of year because at least here, and it should be this way around the world, at least everywhere that celebrates Christmas. But it doesn't matter who you are. It just doesn't matter. You can all take part in this season that, as cynical as our society is, there is always just a little bit of magic this time of year.
I really hope that Nino is putting a Christmas music behind all your speech. Let me just say something about what you just say. Sha la 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 la. Ah, that's pretty cool. That's a good message. Uh, Now I don't want to say that Christmas and Santa Claus was invented, but not Christmas. Santa Claus was invented by Coca-Cola, but do you know that?
Well, the current iteration, yes, but it actually
Yeah,
comes
the
from
current iterator, the
yeah,
current iterator.
as
Yeah, no, no,
this whole bit, yeah.
the whole thing. But that's good. I mean, if I could drink Coca Cola and I wouldn't be that bad for my heart, I will drink it because I love it. But you know what? This is a good tip. I learned that if you are good with your kidney, you can drink mineral water or sparkling water, and it counts like normal water. It counts. It doesn't. It's not different.
Hmm?
My AI teach me that because there's a lot of people that get bloated or get kidney stones. But if you don't have a problem in the kidneys and you're healthy, instead of having 6 bottles of this, you can have three and three sparkling waters that they are 10.99 in Costco. Or anyway, so do you remember Wayne's World
Oh yeah.
when they start doing that? We're not gonna sell ourselves. Yeah, it will be awesome, awesome if one day this podcast is full of so many things because I will have so many eternal jokes about it that I could just go on and on for hours. But Merry Christmas to everyone, no matter what you are. Happy Hanukkah that just passed, right? Happy whatever you celebrate. The important thing is that you are with the people that you love. And I wish you a Merry Christmas.
And a happy
And
new year.
yeah,
I
yeah, it's like Happy
I
New Year,
had
right?
to.
Yeah, 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 you're fucking American. Feliz Navidad, everyone. Or how we say it in Japan, kukaku karakuku. I don't speak Japanese. And it
Medi
sounds more like African, right?
well, actually in Japan it would be Merry Christmas. That's actually true. That's
The
how you say it.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, because they don't have Christmas. Anyway,
Well, they
point
do,
is
but it's
recommendation, Christmas recommendation, brother.
actually before I go there, I'm going to tell you a fun fact. No, you'll appreciate this. This is funny. In Japan, there is a phrase, a woman over the age of 25 as far as dating is concerned is known as a Christmas cookie.
Oh,
And
really? I didn't know
the reason is because nobody wants you after the 25th.
that. Really?
That's true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
I think they need to change it for the Leonardo DiCaprio factor, but
No, but
yeah.
that's a true statement.
You
A
know
woman.
what? When I see Leo again, I'm gonna tell him you're not special. They've been doing that in Japan since forever. He will appreciate that joke. By the way, I'm gonna, I'm gonna change my recommendation because thanks to this comment, I remember something. But you go first. Your
Okay.
first Christmas or not Christmas recommendation?
Okay. So, oh God, I could name a list of Christmas movies that I recommend, but I'm going to limit it to one, and it seems it's my favorite one. It has been for the past 2 years, and this is going to surprise some people. But if you haven't seen it, you really should. Daddy's Home 2 is one of the best Christmas
It's not
movies
fun.
I've
It's fun.
ever seen.
Yeah.
I love the second Daddy's Home. It is so funny, and it is such a Christmas movie. And plus, John Lithgow's a freaking legend. But everybody's great in that movie. There's so many. It's quotable. And the God, when the girl shoots.
I'm good. I haven't seen it though.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, yeah, you have to.
Don't ruin it.
Oh no, no,
I
no.
don't
But
ruin it for me. I'm gonna go with a neo-classic because it's not a classic. And I know a lot of people have seen it, but if you haven't seen it or you haven't seen it in a while and you want your kids, your friends to watch it, or probably your guests from another country, you need to watch Home Alone. Home Alone, for me, is the best Christmas movie because it's not about Christmas, but Christmas is entitled into the story. And I really love it. I think Joe Pesci is the best villain I ever seen in my life. because he's dumb and stupid. And when you have so many iconic moments in the same movie, is they're so funny. So yeah, I would that would be my Christmas recommendation.
Yeah, that's up there. But by the way, the incomparable Jordan on the Spur of the Moment podcast on their last episode made the bold claim that Home Alone and Home Alone 2 are not Christmas movies. And I took him to
I
task on this.
I actually I know I know
I know you're
I actually
aware.
said
The viewers may
I'm
not
aware.
know, but
Yeah, but I'm aware because he's totally wrong
I
about
agree.
Christmas
He's
movies.
totally wrong. But I respectfully refuted his points, and we were trying to make it to where I could come on their show for their Christmas episode and debate him on various Christmas movies. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to make it happen this year, but thankfully, Christmas comes every year, so
Yeah,
maybe
hopefully.
next year. Um, so from
Yeah.
so for my second
Next.
recommendation, I normally do a TV show, but this time I'm going to do an album. It's my favorite Christmas album ever. It is Neil Diamond's first Christmas album, which
Mm,
actually my mother and my mom's a huge Neil Diamond fan, so I grew up with it. But I am a Neil Diamond fan because he's fucking amazing. But
he's amazing.
he has two Christmas albums, but this one we affectionately refer to as White Shirt Neil because he's wearing a white sweater on the album cover.
I
Uh,
remember the cover actually.
well, but what's interesting about this hit me the other day. I'm like, oh, this is the entire album is basically reimagining Christmas songs because he takes Jingle Bell Rock. Well, that's a bad example because that's not too different. He turns God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen into a barbershop quartet that shouldn't work, but it does. Um,
It works.
his
I
rent
don't remember the themes, but I
it's
remember the whole concept.
yeah, the whole thing is basically reimagining of a lot of your favorite Christmas songs. His rendition of "Oh Holy Night" is one of the best songs I've ever heard, and it's incredible what he did. And he's a Jew, so leave it
You
to that.
know,
A Jewish guy made the best Christmas album ever.
do you remember Forgetting Sarah Marshall's?
Yeah,
When Aldous Snow compared him to a dark, ominous Neil Diamond. He's like, that's what I was looking for. That's fantastic. Yeah, I love Neil Diamond. The all good Neil. You know what? I can recommend an album, but probably it's not gonna be a Christmas album. Nah, I'm gonna go with a classic. I've been watching Hulu. Like I said at the beginning, I've been watching The Shield. What a magnificent TV show is. And I found something that I know what it makes so different. I know that the camera is a documentary camera. I know they use just two cameras in the first season. I know the story is really raw. It's amazing that the show is 25 years old, and 80% of the issues that they are addressing are exactly the same, exactly the same. Um, Michael Chilikis does an amazing job because in real life he's totally the opposite of that. He's sweet and nice and decent, and he's like he's a good actor. If you know him in person, you'll give him an Academy Award because he's different and nice and kind. So The Shield, you have Hulu. Go and watch it again. You can. What is the phrase that you guys people that we talk about binge watch?
yeah, binge watching.
Binge watching The Shield. You're probably gonna hate society, but you're gonna be able to solve every problem after that. And based on that, I want to do something before we look at the last recommendation. I found something that I really want to do with you, and I want you to invite Haley and another person from Arete Media, just another one. And I found these board games. Stay with me. That is a file of a crime, and you
Ooh,
open it is from 1 to 4 people, and
ooh,
together we solve the crime with the pictures, information, and the data that is already online that you can go and look for the crime. I found them. Uh, Fred Myers for the west, Rouse for the other down the right. That they have that. It's called Real Crimes. It's just 9.99 and it's a full folder. and I found one that is an assassination of a rich kind of injured.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is a somebody kidnap and murder, and M5. That was the name of the FBI in England.
Oh, MI6,
MI5,
yeah.
MI6 agent that we need to solve it, and the kidnap of two girls. So we can just buy one, and I would love to see all the
Oh,
team.
that sounds awesome.
That would be good. And it would be good. As soon as I watch it, I'm like, oh, I want it.
Yeah, that
Uh,
sounds amazing. But actually, I had an idea for next year.
okay.
I told you what I one thing and I'm gonna do one or the other. It depends on which is more feasible and which one I feel like is more fun. So I told you that I had the idea I wanted to for next year try to do like the Arte Media Christmas special in the
Yeah.
spirit of like the Judy Garland Christmas special. But since most of us are online, I don't know how feasible that is. But then I also thought, which actually ties into my next recommendation, so we can flow into that. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol is public domain.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be fun if
It'd be
next
really fun.
if next Christmas we everyone who wants to in the Arte Podcast Network can play a part and we do an interactive reading of A Christmas Carol.
I'm totally in, but I'm gonna push the limit. The person that wants to do it needs to character themselves. And I personally, with my team of designers, we give them the background from each character so
Abs-
they change it with the scene.
Absolutely. That's I was thinking that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
I
I want
think
to
I
push.
think I might do that one cuz that seems like it could be really fun.
And yeah, that could be something really cool. As you know, we're doing the audiobooks for the company, right? Together.
Mhm.
And I'm talking to the audience, of course, you know, right? But we're doing that, and that will be really cool to enhance more things. There's a lot of things in public domain, like Oliver Twist. We could do
Yeah,
it.
all actually I believe all of Charles Dickens' works are in the public domain.
Jules Verne, public domain,
Yep.
brother. Anyway, yeah, I think that's a great idea, and that guides us to the next recommendation.
Well, so Haley and I, speaking of Haley and A Christmas Carol, I was just on her podcast the other night, and we did kind of a deep dive on a couple of, well, three different movie versions of A Christmas Carol. We watched and dissected the 2010 CGI one starring Jim Carrey, and we also watched A Muppet Christmas Carol and 1983's Disney's Mickey's Christmas Carol, which is an unsung gem. It's actually
It's
really
really
good.
good.
It's
It's really
really good considering it wasn't a
good. Yeah, Golf Goofy. Yeah, it's really good.
yo. Yeah, but for those who don't know, Goofy plays the part of Jacob Marley, and Scrooge McDuck plays Ebenezer Scrooge and nails it, knocks it out of the park.
It's really good.
It's
It's
very
you know
good.
what? It's fun with the message, but it's really fun. And I remember the first time I watched it, a tear came to my cheek. Well, I'm a
It
crier, but
it's I mean, but it's true though. It's really really good, and both Haley and I both agreed that was far and away our favorite. Although Michael Caine kills it as Ebenezer Scrooge in A Muppet Christmas Carol. I forgot he was Scrooge. It'd been a long time since I'd seen it. Oh my god, he kills it. But so you can check that out on the Part of Your Broadway World podcast. I do recommend you watch it on YouTube, but you can listen to it on Spotify and the various audio podcast platforms because I did a special Christmas background, which actually looked pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it was pretty
amazing.
seamless. Actually, I think
So
I
you
was
recommend that?
yeah, I was wearing the
You
same outfit
recommend?
actually.
Because we record the same day. It's fine. Um, do so. Your second recommendation is the Christmas Carol from Disney.
Well, no, the podcast. I recommend the
Uh,
podcast. So
there
go
you go.
watch
There
the
you go. So I
podcast.
was
So
okay.
go watch that. It was
My
fun.
this is not about Christmas or anything, but uh, please go to YouTube and put the most expensive short film ever made. It's Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro and Brad Pitt. They spend a lot of money, and it's 5 minutes, and it's with the director of the I'm blanking. The mafia guy that makes all mafia movies. That you work with him and you preach the Mecca. The all the movies. The Irish Matt Damon and
What?
Leonardo DiCaprio. The Departed.
The Departed.
Who
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
directed The Departed? I forgot. I'm looking at his face because he's in the documentary. I mean, this short film. What is his name? The director of The Departed. I totally
That's what
blinked.
I'm looking right now. It's Scorsese, isn't it?
It's Scorsese, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Robert De Niro. That is, they're trying to convince him who will be the best for a character, the role of the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Such a good, funny, fast thing that I will recommend people to watch it. It's a strange recommendation, but I have another one. But when we talk about Leonardo, I'm like, holy camoli, I need to talk because somebody sent it to me, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it, and it's really funny. And if you allow me, I will recommend. First of all, thank you for all the people that have been supporting our music video Black Hole Song, and because we put it a specific, it was funny. We put it in TikTok, and TikTok put it down and said that we couldn't put it up because the rights of Black Hole Song Reimagining belong to Again and Forever, and we couldn't use it. And I'm like, I challenge it, and I say, we are Again and Forever.
That's
And they
us.
say denied. I wait 2 days and I upload it, and in the explanation, I put it and everywhere. We have a great result. I watch it all. The video is done in an iPhone 13 Pro, and I think you guys gonna enjoy it. It's the prelude for our next album, Chronicles of a Serial Killer and the Last Supper reimagined. But this is not a theme that we need to talk on Christmas, right? But Merry Christmas, Jake.
Merry Christmas, virus.
Today we don't say roll them up to say. Today we say shalalala.
La la. Oh, by the way, if you visit the Average Intelligence podcast channel, it was uploaded on Christmas Eve, or at least it was supposed to have been. So I'm predating it. We have a special looped fireplace video to help you get into the holiday vibe. So go check it out. There may or may not be a few surprises. You'll just have to watch it.
Good. Sounds like a good thing to do. Before we go, what are you gonna have for dinner?
We're having turkey.
Congratulations!
I'm
I'm
a
so
turkey guy.
jealous.
I'm a turkey guy.
No, yeah, because of the new diet, I'm gonna eat a long, big, huge wild salmon with garlic
It's probably
and
better actually.
asparagus, and I will send a picture. I probably can upload it for the next one. Carrots. As I'm not eating nightshades. You know what nightshades are? You know the vegetables. Nightshade vegetables are potatoes,
Oh, okay. I got you.
chilies, all that. So I don't supposed to eat them. I'm not sick, people. Be cool. I'm just preventing things. So it's just gonna be that, and as I don't eat lactose anymore, well, it's gonna be just that. But my family, bastards, they're having turkey. They're having something that I adore. So check this out. It's called romeritos in Spanish. So they make mole. They put cactus, the romeritos plant, and then they got shrimps. See? Wait, they boil the shrimp, they destroy it and make it a dust. They fix it and they make a little potato, but it's not. It's like a potato cake,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
crab
yeah,
cake, but it's a shrimp cake, and then they put it in the mole.
yeah. Ooh.
And my sister is famous because she does something called shrimps a la gamba, that is a plate between Spain and Veracruz in Mexico. So she boiled around 6 pounds of shrimps.
Oh my god.
No, no, 6 pounds of shrimp in olive oil
Mm-hmm.
with potatoes and garlic and whatever, and it tastes so good. Like so, yeah, I'm jealous of your turkey, but that's what we're having this Christmas. And for whoever, if you ask me, I would love to have a KFC for Christmas and don't make a mess. That will be my dream, but one day I will fulfill it. Thank you very much, Jake. It's been an amazing year.
Next year will be even more amazing.
Yeah, because we're gonna be naked in the podcast because we're going to the gym.
Oh, well, you're due for a truffle
I know.
shuffle next year, my friend.
Okay, is the movie out yet?
No, but it's gonna be out in 2024.
If it's out in 2024, I'm working out. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the truffle show. It's gonna be the abs truffle, but it will be fun. I will practice. All right. Thank you very much, brother. Have a good Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Roll them up.
I have a dream